Europe's migration crisis has reached a new turning point. The door to Europe on the Macedonian border is now closed to thousands of refugees.
Why the border is closed? Why?
The Greek town of EUTurkey has become a bottleneck for those trying to reach Europe. Tensions here are high.
People here are ill, hungry, and frustrated. This camp and Europe's solution to the refugee crisis appear to be anything but sustainable.
Across Greece, tens of thousands more asylum seekers are heading to the border. But it looks like time is running out to avoid a humanitarian disaster here. And so is aid. The EU and Turkey want to stem the flow of refugees, but have failed to meet in the middle. They blame each other for failing to uphold a January deal to fortify external borders. On Monday, it was back to the drawing board in Brussels, but this time, Turkey came armed with fresh demands. On Turkey's wish list is $3.3 billion in aid, in addition to the previous pledge of $3 billion to help refugees. Visa-free travel for Turkish citizens by June this year. Progress on Turkey's EU membership talks. And for Europe to accept one asylum seeker it judges authentic for every migrant sent back to Turkey. But Europe wants many more migrants returned to Turkey, and Brussels also wants to separate Turkey's EU membership bid from the refugee crisis. There may be no deal, but it's all on the table and very controversial. The proposal to return migrants to Turkey could become Europe's new nightmare. Legally, it contravenes the Geneva Convention, which calls for the protection of all asylum claimants. Greece would be forced to move refugees against their will, many having paid large sums to smugglers to travel there. EU countries will have to agree unanimously on the scheme in the first place, a dim prospect given resistance to mandatory quotas agreed last year. So far, out of 160,000 refugees due to be resettled, less than 700 have been. As politicians slip into deadlock, thousands of refugees remain stranded, awaiting their fate in Greece.
Hopes here are fading fast for the refugees who have been told they won't be allowed into Europe. For some, it means they'll remain separated from the family members that have already made it through. And for others, it may mean that they have no other option but to return to the country and the danger they fled.
With Europe now ready to take a tougher stance, life for people here may grow even more desperate and their future more grim. Ali Can Ayanlar, The Newsmakers, EUTurkey.